point that you were kind of pasuk now. The Heishiv leibon ovos abonim v'leibonim alavos. At the end of Treyasa. Many learn in many ways. But I like to learn it this way. It says bonim shiore la'avos derech avos yachzu b'tshuva v'yelech b'derech. This is what Rashi says there. That the children will arouse the parents in a proper way, naturally, derech avos, that they should do tshuva. That's if you talk about when is going to be the end of time. Do you think of there'll be a relationship of parent and child, and the children would correct the parents' power. I like to translate that a little. I like to leave out a few words. I like to say this, that bonim shi'ar, the children will arouse in the parents that they should do tshuva, but they should go b'derech Hashem. How will it come that the children will arouse to the parents to do tshuva? I said, that's the Diaspora issue. How does it work? Very simple. Very simple. The parents made a quantum leap. And Musar's nefesh for Torah. Now, if the parents made the proper real tikkunim to the shleimus they should, so then that the children, which are the fruits from the parents, and the apple is not far from the tree, so then the child should come out perfect. But if the child does not come out perfect, so it's a kasha to the parents. So what are the parents going to do? They'll be embarrassed. Because already their flaws are being seen through the kids. So in order not to embarrass themselves, have two possibilities. Either going to change themselves and do tshuva, or the child, afal pi, that the parents have bad midos, better change, otherwise they'll embarrass the parents. So, now everybody has pluses and everybody has minuses. And the quantum leap that everybody made is beautiful. Except there's one difficult when it comes to the children. We don't want our children, we are afraid that our children should make their own decision and make a possibility of yes, a possibility of no. So there's a problem what to do. Now, according to Chazal, if I talk about chinuch hayaladim, the education of children, chitzes lenar al pi darko, should train the child according to his way. Gam ki yazkin lo yosim menu b'yochaz b'berchas Hashem. So if we'll translate it, what I'd like to translate it is that the parents affect the child, mechanech the child to such a degree when he'll be old, when he does what he really wants to do at that stage, So then that which the parents will machanech them, it's not just an adult script, a parent watching the parent's voice speaking, but it really is their real nature, what they really want. So you get older, you do what you really want. And actually, what does a child should really want? Because it's the proper education. Abba, mitzvahs, Torah. Now the final end of education is what? If you really gave the proper education to a child, it's what? It's okay, you can keep moving on. Okay. I want you to hear this thing. What is the proper education of the child? And that is Ashrei Yaladetiv. Happy is the parents that gave birth to the child. The chinuch is not just he's a Talmud Chacham, you're a Shemayim, Midos. That's not the end. The end is that the child reaches a stage where everybody says, wow, I only had a child like you. I'll become religious. I'll learn Torah. At the end, the child has to produce a Kiddush Hashem. Ashrei Yaladetiv. People have to say, wow. Ashrei Yaladetiv. Praise be the parents that gave birth to them. And another step is they got to give total kavod. Hashem, people will desire to be. Now, if you look at Har Tziyon, you see a lot of people, tourists pass by, and they see the beautiful children on Har Tziyon. They'll take pictures. We heard people say, wow, I used to be religious to have kids like that. I heard it myself. And people are hurting. Maybe only saw the external. I don't know. But it's a very big thing. You know, when I was born, I have an aunt, an uncle, I don't know if they're alive. And they only wanted one child. When I was born, they liked me cute, who knows what. So she gave birth, she got pregnant for another child. And she's called sister, like my sister. What's her name? They saw a cute kid, somehow they melt, and they decide to get more children. That's on the physical being, that's the physical side. We're talking the spiritual side. And people see you, your kids, and say, wow, must be something good about it, I want to do it like it. Ashrei Yaladetiv. So the end of the chinuch is not just, my kid's religious, I'm okay, you're Shemayim, that's not enough. That's not enough. It's Ashrei Yaladetiv. The Chafetz Chaim has a word. Change the pshat a little bit. It's a good word. It says, V'hoya machne kadosh. Your encampment should be holy. V'lo yer b'cho ervas dova v'shov macharecha. You should not see in you any erva that you should go backwards. So who won't see? Your house is supposed to be holy and pure. That there shouldn't be seen in you. So shouldn't be seen in you normally means that Hashem should not see. It should be so holy to agree there's nothing there. But the Chafetz Chaim gives a little kvetch and says, who won't see? Your son or your daughter? Oh, Jewish, okay, but the word is true. If your house is holy and pure, so the kids won't see any flaws, that they'll turn away from Torah and religion and learn the wrong things. I joked around, talking about a little bit. There's a need for a Bali Tshuva yeshiva for Bali Tshuva. Because the Bali Tshuva makes a leap and he's okay now. And today there are maybe about 10,000 Bali Tshuvas in Eretz Yisrael. It's hard to differentiate till you get married to them, with the Bishop Ilchim, so you'll find out. A lot of people in America who themselves, there's a little gap in their parents' life when they came from Europe to the time the children went to the Yeshiva and got Jewish education in the, quote, the Ivy League yeshivas. Somehow that little past gap nobody talks about. There's a need for a Bali Tshuva yeshiva for Bali Tshuvas. Or better, a Bali Tshuva yeshiva for Frumya. Because after a person makes a leap or goes, the question is how to increase qualitatively one's growth. So if it's yourself, okay. You're growing, you're moving, you've made a big leap. But already the family is affecting the kids. So it's very easy to say, oh, it's the school, it's the girlfriends, it's the boyfriends, it's the neighbors, it's the Rabbi, it's the Yeshiva, it's this, that, all kinds of blame. Now, naturally, it's very hard with our type of life, full survival, we're financially very difficult, and there's a tremendous demand, the husband to learn Torah, build Torah, and there's a big demand, if you have a larger family, just to take physical care is a tremendous demand under the pressure of no money and the tremendous demand of a discipline. So it's very hard for anybody to keep up the pace. Bad enough to quote quality living. Comes the weekend, you're tired. So where are those quote family meetings that you have to have in your home with your family, with your children, in order to put your finger on what's happening in the midos and the learning with the kids? Where's that special time you put for your child that you can have, as I explained to you many times, that I forgot the name of the person, but the movement of Beis Yaakov was done by Chana Schneer, Sarah Schneer, and maybe remember it. And she had in her house a Yisoma, and this Yisoma came to America, but a Kaplan, Rebbetzin Kaplan. And she was the one that started the Beis Yaakov movement in America. Her husband was in Hebron Yeshiva, and when the Arabs came, he was one of the few people that was wounded, that was alive yet. And he would learn, and his wife ran the Beis Yaakov. And she had, I think, about 20 some odd kids. How many 20? She was in the 20s already. And Alicia Tznuah. And I used to say to him, I used to help with his kids when I was a young boy. I used to talk to his kids. I slept into the zoo and to see Professor's Parsha, Shesa, I mean, all the halachas, Tum and Tara, it was on their fingertips. They never saw the animals. So I was close to Rabbi Kaplan. I asked him, listen, how do you manage so many kids? And how do you expect them to turn out so well? He says he gives them a little time every Shabbos, to have a few minutes every Shabbos. He talks to them, he learns with them, gets involved in it. It's choy v'liyava. It's quality time. I think Baruch Hashem, all his children turned out well. She was a very active woman. She gave birth, and 3 days later she left the hospital. She had to clean the house for Pesach. She would never look at a person. She'd look down. She'd never look at a person. She ran the whole Beis Yaakov. Very influential person. A husband also Talmud Chacham. But there's a need for family meetings, I tell you. You yourself have to fill eitzes and tachbulos, how to help your children grow and fix their meters in the learning. The responsibility is the parents. The problem usually is in the home. In the home, the school is only an extension, or the school or friends are only an extension. If the child is good, all the parents will tell their daughters, if you're a good girl, you'll always protect yourself no matter what, no matter where you'll go. Bad friends, good friends, influence. If there's enough love and care in the home, the child doesn't need extra love and care, that she gets more love and care and influenced by her friends and school. Because the influence really comes from the home. If there's lack of love and care and understanding and communication of parents with the child, so naturally the friends, school, teachers have a tremendous influence. More than the home. The home is really the basis. And the flaws show up from the home to the child, so it's an embarrassing thing for the parent. And B'chut HaSaira, with the letter of the law, and we like to dump guilt everywhere. The rabbi dumps guilt on the parents dump guilt on the school, school's house at the friends how it is, doing the cats, the dog, it's the mice. But the whole story, but that's not neither. But the Yesod didn't really is that. The question is, what is the solution? And I want to give three possibilities of what the solution is. I want you to listen to this. Nobody here is willing that his child should make his own decision or her own decision in deciding to be religious or not religious, to learn Torah or not learn Torah. We don't want to give that freedom. It's good if they learn the Torah, and then on their own, after the learning, the Avasa Torah, planted, they'll make their own decision. But we have in the Torah, the davening, Elokei Avraham, Elokei Yitzchak, Elokei Yaakov, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and the Farshim is why say these three? There's millions of people that God is the God. Why are we? So they answered each one on his own, independently, made a decision that God is his. Okay. It's Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. Our children, we don't want to give them exactly total freedom. That freedom was very strange. Okay. So how do you solve the problem? So the Chazon Ish solved the problem for B'nai. Parents are religious, and we're in a closed environment. How do we get those kids religious? Under what system do we do? So he was Mechadesh, the two key words, Ahavas, the love of Halacha. Halacha means the law. Ahavas Halacha. And it should be in the heart. Why the Halacha? Well, if you want the child to be like the father, so you got to have din. You got to make sure it lines up straight. Second of all, you have to do what you have to do. Whatever you have to do. And you want to do the mitzvahs and get olam haba, so you have to do what you are designated and essential qualities you're created for. That's why mitzvahs, you don't get reward in this world. It's in the next world. Because lakach notzarda, you got to do your job as you were created for, and do it ba'ava, b'yira, b'siras nefesh, all those adjectives and adverbs, you have to do it. And so what? You do it, and then you get your reward in the next world, because that's what you're created for to do, as the creation of the world. So therefore, they have this system called halacha. You have to have avas halacha, and with that naturally comes dikdukei, the medakdek on the mitzvah. Proteha dikdukel. With that will come harchek minakir v'adayim. Stay away from anything that's dangerous. Anything that's sakona, dangerous, stay away from. Stay away from. Because you have to be pure, holy. You got to make sure you don't get into any mistakes. That's where the pachad, the internal fear of Bnei Brak people. They don't go to shtochim. They can't go there because they have pachad. It stems from a good place. So you have fear and make sure you do the halacha right and don't do it. That's why the Bnei Brak have shaylas. Did I put on the tefillin the right way, the wrong way? And what should I do? Medakdek kamitz. This is the sheet of the chazon. A little further. Do you have any difficulty? If you learn Torah and Amelis B'Torah and Amelis and Abaya V'Rava, you work hard on Abaya V'Rava in the Gemara, and you really work hard in Halacha. So the light of the Torah, actually, you know, the Torah is Torah's tablet. Torah is Sam HaChaim. The poison means the medicine of life, and it's tablet, it's spice, and it'll correct the midos, and everything will change good. And you'll get somehow straightened out magically through the learning of Torah. And Torah. And therefore, you got to do the next. If you're not fully engrossed in the total Amelis HaTorah in order to be able to get the Or HaTorah in your soul, to be able to make it Tikkun HaMidos, which Mordechai should have gotten and not run to say Klal Yisrael should learn Torah in order to work. So then the next step will be is at least ask shilas. Before you do anything whatsoever, ask the shilas to go right, left, ask shilas. They'll give you the right answers what to do. The right answers what to do. Left, right. Naturally, the Chazon issues don't hold for Musar. That's a medicine that doesn't work for everybody. But Torah works for all. Okay. You learn the Torah, dagdik on mitzvahs, even to a degree where you're alone. Yochid b'dova. You got to fight with all the chumas and make medagdik, even you embarrass it from your family or not. Abandon your environment. You got to hold on to those laws. Eventually, your children will see you medagdik on mitzvahs, and they'll be influenced that way. And that's the way you get your tikkun hamidos through working on halacha, and through the learning of the Torah, the midos will be changed and moved. Because they didn't want to open up the midos and Musar, because again you're in another line. Midah, halacha means cold, but you have ava, the cold, you can have the energy like that. You're towing a line, which is the din, which is the chok, your nature and what you're created for. And you can't get the emotional thing or the opening of the emotions and the feelings. You get the extra rotzon, the extra will of the quantum leap of another degree of chesed and kindness and that type of sense. And therefore they also need their environment of learning, because they're afraid that they'll have, the worst thing for them is shiflus hanefesh, which the whole is a low self-image, which is a disease of the soul. The only way to get that is they're in trouble. They got to get covered adam, covered ater, which is covered adam, etc. And they work that way. And they have a eye problem, very high ego eye problem, and they have to total lie, and they're quite successful. There's a whole group of people in Bnei Brak, and that's the Bnei Brak. That's another way in which you can educate your children by Abbas halacha. I don't say not halacha you shouldn't have them. No. They're going to explain. In Yerushalayim, they had another problem. Oh, I mentioned also you have to do it with the environment, because Bnei Brak is environment, because they're afraid of shiftless and nefesh. If you need groups of people learning, talking, learning, in order that they can't be by themselves, they can be by themselves and standing for the halacha and machmer upon themselves. To be, that's called dikduk hamitzvah. It's not machmer, it's dikduk hamitzvah. It turns out to be chomer, but they need the environment of Torah because they're afraid. If they don't, they'll lose that energy and excitement in the learning that the learning itself should have. In Yerushalayim, is that a problem? Small houses and poverty. How do you handle it? So they solved it by Seder and Nikayon. The children all have clean white shirts. How poor they are to have a shirt. Buy them a dikduk tefillin. Make sure. Because they have different systems, tznius in the house. In a small little house, in order that it should work, that the kids come out straight, instead of, usually according to sociologists, you have a one-room bedroom with 18 kids, boys and girls, usually is a problem, and Freudian concept what could happen. Yet you shall be kept straight, because it's the kohen cleanliness and the dikduk of the Seder. And they learn Gemara, which is the essential thing, and they laugh at the world and they feel that they have something nobody else has, which gives them an in-group feeling. Now we have an understanding we have to get is that there's a lot of vibrancy, life, excitement. When you make your will, his will, and you made your own decision from love that you want to be religious, and you therefore there's no end because of love, no time. Mesiras Nefesh is not called Mesiras Nefesh, it's called love, expression of love and care. And you get involved with the theory of learning, which is like if you think of college days in America, not in Israel, it's the openness, the excitement, the theory, the growth, without care, without the care of time or environment or the physical metzius where you're at. And it's just the movement of growth, of adventure, of seeing new things, and opening the mind to new ideas. And it's the awe, it's the child just seeing the greatness, fascinating every moment, and the excitement that's there in every time he hears another Chiddush, and the search of truth to the nth degree that should be. That's all good if the person has in him the shoresh of Avas Hashem, Bitochen, Emunah, and he has that in his midos. And he leaps forward and he goes on and on. It's an open-end system. But that comes later. There are midos that children can be seen before. Yosef protected his mother. Rivka went and did chesed with the gomels. You see little things that take place way before in Rishus, before even development. You have Yaakov and Esav when they were still young. One was playing tricks with the father. Saul, Meiser, he had his games with his father. And Yaakov was doing his thing. It's hard to discern with children what's real, what's a game, what's their real nature, what's not their real nature until later. But there's definitely one thing. And the thing is that if Hashem gives you a test, must be able to succeed. The Hashem gives you children, must be under your environment, you can make from those children Talmidei Chacham. Because I tell over the story, I'll mention it again. The Almighty wants life. Lo yachpois b'mois hamei says when he's going to die. He's just waiting with savlonis that everybody should win and everybody get the most out of life. So it can't be sets you up to lose. And he puts you in an environment where you have so many kids and so many nisyonos that you're going to lose and you're not going to win. And the children should turn out cripples rather than successful. He must give you everything that's possible that you should be successful with your children, with your husband, and the husband with the wife. It can't be otherwise. Otherwise, he's not a just God. He's just setting you up to knock you out. Usually children should be for older people, they have more experience in life, more money, more. But it doesn't work. God doesn't give people children after a certain age. It only gives to younger people. And young people have many desires and thoughts, and they have their own life to live, and they're growing, and here we got this kid in the between, we got to help him out. What happened? Where's life? It's all mixed up in a jumble of what's happening in life. When it must be, by definition, if Hashem gives it you can't succeed. You can't make those children.